Did you know that 85% of people believe they aren't creative? That's a huge number, right? But here's the twist. Research shows that every single person has the ability to be creative. It's not a rare gift, it's a skill anyone can unlock. In fact, highly creative people don't think the same way as most of us. They approach problems differently, see things others miss, and turn ordinary ideas into extraordinary ones. So, how do they do it? What's their secret? In this video, we're going to dive into the minds of creative geniuses. You'll discover how they think, why they embrace failure, and how they use silence to spark their most brilliant ideas. Stay tuned to find out how breaking the rules, questioning everything, and even embracing solitude can help you unlock a whole new level of creativity. You'll learn practical, powerful strategies that can change the way you approach every challenge in your life. Ready to think differently? Let's go. Chapter 1. The Unseen Patterns. How creativity breaks the rules. Highly creative people have a knack for seeing things differently. They don't follow traditional paths, they forge their own. Most of us see a problem and follow a well-worn solution, but creative thinkers see the same problem and immediately think outside the box. They connect ideas that others wouldn't even consider linking. It's not about knowledge alone, it's about perspective. Steve Jobs famously said, "Creativity is just connecting things." And he meant it. Creative people often make breakthroughs simply by connecting unrelated dots. This mindset allows them to solve problems in unconventional ways. For example, when Nikola Tesla designed the first alternating current system, he didn't just follow existing methods. He created an entirely new approach to electricity. His ability to see patterns that weren't obvious to others is why he's remembered as one of the most inventive minds in history. Highly creative individuals often ignore industry norms. They don't just follow a rulebook, they rewrite it. Albert Einstein had the same approach with his theory of relativity. It wasn't just about building on what was already known, he radically reshaped how we think about space and time. In fact, his famous equation E equals mc squared came from a mental leap that others didn't even consider at the time. These creative minds also tend to surround themselves with diverse sources of inspiration. Instead of relying on traditional ideas, they look beyond their own field. Think of artists like Pablo Picasso, who was heavily influenced by African art and Cubism, creating something entirely new. They understand that inspiration doesn't always come from what you know but from what you expose yourself to. Chapter 2. The Power of Silence. Why creative minds thrive in solitude. Silence is a secret weapon for creative people. In a world full of distractions, they understand that quiet moments are where true creativity can bloom. In fact, studies show that solitude boosts creativity. Researchers at the University of Virginia found that people who spent time alone generated more creative ideas than those who worked in groups. When creative minds are alone, their thoughts can wander freely. This is when new ideas form, often without them even trying. The brain makes connections that are impossible to notice when you're distracted by outside noise. Many of the world's greatest innovators, like Charles Darwin, often found clarity in solitude. Darwin's best ideas often came during long walks by himself. But it's not about being alone all the time. It's about finding the balance. Creativity thrives when you give your mind space to explore, away from the constant chatter of society. The quiet allows for deep thinking, where the mind can stretch beyond its limits. Take J.K. Rowling, for example. She wrote much of Harry Potter while sitting alone in cafes, letting her mind drift freely between ideas. This space to think led her to create one of the most successful literary worlds in history. Without solitude, these ideas might not have come to her. Chapter 3. Curiosity over certainty. The habit of questioning everything. Creative people don't accept the world as it is, they question everything. This habit of curiosity is what separates them from others. Instead of assuming they know the answers, they dig deeper, asking, why, and what if? They understand that creativity isn't about having all the answers but about asking the right questions. Consider Leonardo da Vinci, who questioned how the human body worked and how birds flew. His curiosity led to discoveries far ahead of his time, from anatomy sketches to the design of flying machines. For him, asking questions wasn't just a habit, it was a way of thinking. This constant inquiry helps creative minds discover new solutions. In a study from the University of California, researchers found that people who asked more questions were more likely to come up with innovative solutions to problems. It's about challenging what is, to create what could be. Highly creative people also don't fear uncertainty. They embrace it. Where others see a lack of clear answers, they see an opportunity to innovate. Elon Musk is a perfect example. Instead of being deterred by the complexities of space travel, he asked, "What if we could build reusable rockets?" His curiosity and willingness to question everything led to the formation of SpaceX. If you're enjoying these insights, don't forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss the next chapters on how to unlock your own creativity. Chapter 4. Fail fast, learn faster. How failure ignites innovation. Failure isn't something to avoid, it's something to embrace. Creative thinkers understand that failure is an inevitable part of the innovation process. In fact, many successful people have failed more times than most people even try. The key is to fail quickly, learn from the experience, and move forward smarter. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His perseverance in the face of failure is why he is remembered as one of the greatest inventors of all time. He didn't let setbacks discourage him, instead, he used each one as a stepping stone. Failure also provides valuable insights into what doesn't work. In the world of startups, the fail fast mentality is encouraged because it helps entrepreneurs learn quicker. Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, embraced failure when he said, "The biggest risk is not taking any risk." He knew that by making mistakes quickly, he could adjust faster and innovate sooner. Innovative companies like Apple or Google also thrive on failure. They understand that without experimentation, there is no progress. Google, for example, has launched many products that didn't succeed. Google Glass, anyone? But these failures paved the way for bigger and better ideas, like the evolution of Android. Chapter 5. Idea mashups. The art of combining the unexpected. Creativity often arises from blending seemingly unrelated ideas. Creative thinkers are masters of combining elements from different domains to generate groundbreaking solutions. This mashup of ideas can lead to unexpected and innovative results. For example, the invention of the smartphone was a mashup of the telephone, computer, and digital camera. Steve Jobs didn't invent any of these components, he combined them into something entirely new. He understood that creativity is about mixing old ideas to create something fresh. The musician Brian Eno used this strategy in his music production. He blended elements of ambient music, pop, and experimental sounds to create a genre that was entirely his own. This unexpected combination of influences allowed him to craft a sound that was revolutionary. In the tech world, mashups are equally powerful. The invention of Uber came from combining the idea of a taxi service with GPS technology. It was a simple yet innovative concept that disrupted an entire industry. By combining different ideas, highly creative minds break new ground. Chapter 6. Breaking mental boundaries. How to escape the box and think limitlessly. To think creatively, you must learn to escape the mental boxes that limit your imagination. These boundaries can come from society, past experiences, or your own biases. Highly creative individuals have mastered the art of breaking free from these constraints to think beyond what's possible. One technique to escape these mental boundaries is mind mapping. This strategy allows you to visually organize ideas, making it easier to see connections between concepts. It's a technique widely used by people like Tony Buzan, who pioneered the use of mind maps to unlock creative thinking. Another effective strategy is perspective shifting. This involves viewing a problem from different angles, challenging assumptions, and breaking free from the usual way of thinking. Einstein did this all the time, famously saying, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." By changing your perspective, you can open up new ways of seeing the world. It's a method used by architects, designers, and artists alike to overcome creative blocks. Breaking your usual patterns allows you to think limitlessly, expanding your potential for innovation. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with more tips on unleashing your creativity and thinking differently.